We're on.
We're on. All right. Welcome to another week of Tim and Joe's awesome podcast, brought to you every week in your Spotify app. If you are watching on YouTube, it's clear by the decor, by the outfits, that you have wandered into our annual spooky Halloween Spooktacular episode, where we're going to be talking today about the things that go bump in the night, the dinosaurs of our minds, things that keep us up at night. So put the kids to bed for this one. Tell them good night, because it is going to be a spooky episode, if you can't tell. Welcome. I was hoping for 45 minutes of this. No?
No. It's not. I don't have a dino-shaped head enough to catch that, you know?
I think viewers at home would disagree, man. I think
you think so?
Yeah, I think you rocked that.
I do have a pronounced nose that has a kind of beak-like feature.
Stop it.
Yeah, sure.
What is that? What is the costume?
It's the Danish. Oh, you mean the costume? Costume is if I had to imagine an alien species that was reptilian and also kind of sea anemone-like on their head, and they'd come to Earth to like take over. Yeah. Like that's who I would picture.
I think that's good. If that doesn't make an appearance at Amanda and Lee's Halloween party,
we'll all be sad about that.
Yeah. We have shout out to Amanda and Lee for maybe the best theme of any Halloween party I've ever been invited to, where you dress up as your favorite conspiracy.
They're real. The dinos, the sea anemone dinos, are so real. I just know it.
Well, I'm starting to believe. Cheers.
Sorry, I jumped right in.
Yeah, we're drinking kombucha today. Raw kombucha.
Today is kombucha.
9 billion living probiotics.
This is the Island Bliss. I feel like it comes with the tropical notes of pineapple.
9 billion probiotics. One probiotic for every listener. Raw kombucha.
That's it. We're very
We've
big.
exceeded the population, the global population.
Most lizards are actually lizards and reptilian. Most lizard listeners are reptilian. That's about 1 billion.
Well, they're drawing up our viewership, but we
lizard
value each of our
listeners
listeners.
are about 1 billion. I don't know, something like that. So
it's going so well.
Well, man,
I love it.
I got your prompts. I was super excited about it.
Yeah. The spooky episode.
Man, spooky, so spooky. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get too far in before I give you a surprise.
Oh, a surprise!
It's true. I felt bad last Wednesday. I missed. We usually record these on Wednesdays.
You were missed.
But I was in Bend, Oregon.
Man.
And the lovely part about Bend, maybe the most lovely part about Bend, it's all lovely, but true. The thing that speaks to me the most, the thing that's most whimsy and unusual about Bend, is it is home to the last blockbuster on Earth.
Bro.
I did pay a visit, and I made sure to bring home a little souvenir for you.
Oh,
the last blockbuster.
Look at that.
Here. To the man who, up until a year ago, Netflix was sending you DVDs in the mail.
Man, that's the truth. That was true. I was so sad when Netflix was like, we're not going to.
Yeah. I can't believe that it took that long.
Netflix, if you would just, I will make a plug. Netflix, please. Sell those DVDs to Redbox or somebody. Don't sit on them.
Yeah.
All right?
We can't have those DVDs end up in a landfill. If you and our 9 billion followers could band together and mobilize for a worthy cause, we could make that happen.
Go to NetflixSellTheDVDs.com /US/net and then let them know. They need to stop hanging on to them.
They do. And I'll tell you, there were a lot of DVDs at that Blockbuster. I wasn't sure what to expect. This sounds like obvious there were a lot of DVDs. I mean, I didn't really know what they were selling. I thought merch for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, in my mind, merch is keeping them afloat.
Yeah, postcards.
There was my favorite thing to do is, of course, go to like the wall where people have curated their selection, right? And you know, like, this is Chris's recommendations.
Man, that's the best.
You know, you become accustomed to like trusting somebody in the store,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that was my goal. Now I realized I wasn't flying out of the same airport, and there was no way for me to return this, and so I had to buy, and I felt pretty upset. I was
What'd
really.
you buy?
I went for. I only had a brief moment. They only have one shelf of DVDs you can buy. That surprised me.
Because they're hanging on to them.
Yeah.
Because Netflix
Everything-
won't sell it to
That's
them.
right. There's not a whole lot to choose from. So I briefly, first of all, I got to the front. I bought my merch. I bought your postcard. I bought Blockbuster beer. So they're in that market now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
But they told me, you know, you can't buy just anyone. You have to rent these and return them. That's the model. Respect the culture. Sure.
Oh man, they gave you the rules.
they gave
Like,
me the
listen,
rules.
son.
Yeah.
You may be new around here.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. I did not think that. I thought they were willing to, you know. I thought they would just be happy someone was at their store.
Yeah.
Man.
Was it busy or was it quiet?
It was fairly busy. It really was. Yeah. People were excited.
Okay.
People taking
All right.
pictures. A lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I had one brief moment at the checkout counter to run over to the section of movies you could purchase.
Okay.
And I just instinctually just grabbed what I thought was maybe the most blockbuster film available. I'd never heard of it.
Basic instinct.
Never heard of that. But you look on the cover, and first of all, there's like helicopters, there's explosions.
Yeah.
Like, that is a blockbuster. John
Yeah.
Cena's on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta help.
Yeah.
You know, it's called Freelance.
I haven't ever heard of it.
You know,
There's a reason they were selling it.
right. According to Rotten Tomatoes, it's not the worst film John Cena's made. So, I'll agree with that.
Okay. All right.
I successfully did watch it. There were a lot of other barriers to watching it. I got back to my hotel. I had to go out and buy a DVD player.
So you bought a DVD player just for this?
Did. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I did. I get back to the
That's
hotel
committed.
room. I gotta have prongs for the holes.
Oh yeah.
You know the holes. Forgot about the holes.
Yeah.
You get the red.
You got a
the
DVD
yellow,
player
the white.
that didn't have an HDMI port?
No, I bought that separately. So I
Oh
went
my
to a
gosh.
secondhand store and was able to buy a DVD player and the cord.
Man.
And
How much was that? In Bend, Oregon.
$9.50
Just $9.50.
$9.50.
They're giving them away.
for they are. They are giving away DVD players. It's true. It's not that expensive. It's the cost of a rental or a purchase of the movie, which was only $8.
Wow.
So my beer was more expensive than all that.
Man, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, you got to see John Cena doing his
did.
thing, the blockbuster experience. You know what I always loved about like Chris's corner at those
Yeah.
things was
Yeah.
like you don't know who Chris is.
No.
He might live in his mom's basement. But he has a perspective. It's not like, oh, this is this famous person's list
Sure.
of top 50 movies.
Sure.
It's just like, let's tune into, Penny.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's still named Penny anymore. I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah.
If I had a daughter, I'd name her Penny right now, but I got all boys,
I
you know?
need a good daughter name. You know this.
Yeah, Penelope. And then you
love
call her
it.
Penny for short.
I love
you know?
it. Yeah, Penny.
Yeah. All
Penny,
we
yes,
might've-
of course.
We might have just
Of
figured
course,
it out.
Penny. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penny might be on the
Solid
selection
name.
list.
I had a crush in 4th grade on a girl named Penny.
But what's she doing now?
Bro, I haven't looked her up. You know what I'm saying?
Right answer.
We went different ways. Well, so what I love was like Chris's Corner. It was just like the people. The same thing with like Carmichael's around here.
Yeah.
You can go to somebody you've never met who has no social clout that's national or anything.
Yeah.
It's just somebody in their neighborhood, and then you're
Yeah.
like, man, I am really vibing with Chris.
Sure. Yeah.
Or Chris is out there. What
He's
I'm
out
really
there.
vibing with is Zach.
Yeah.
Or with Penny or whoever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Chris is going through something right now. You can tell. It's in the
Man,
selection
there you
list.
go.
There's a lot of. It's getting a little dark.
Like the bar for entry on having a corner is just working there.
Sure.
You know, I love
Yeah.
how low that is.
Yeah.
It's like you show up for work
Yeah.
most the time,
Yeah.
you get a shelf.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true. And there's a lot of eye rolling about Chris.
Yeah.
Or about, Penny, whatever, But
Yeah.
they get their equal share.
Man, they do. They get their shelf.
So let me ask you this. Is Halloween, this is the Spooktacular episode.
Yeah.
What is your go-to Halloween movie?
Man, all right. Go to Halloween movie. Honestly, Nightmare Before Christmas
Sure.
is amazing.
Okay.
Always love it. I think that counts as a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
I have never seen Hocus Pocus.
Okay, I haven't either.
And our listeners, all of them will be dumbfounded. You haven't seen Hocus Pocus either?
No, I haven't had the pleasure.
Oh my gosh, I feel so much better.
Right here, we're good.
Oh my gosh.
There's no shame here. Yeah, there's no shame.
You haven't seen it?
No, I really haven't. No, I don't know anything about it.
All right. Well, I hope this year is the year I get to see Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, let's watch that together.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
we can solve this. Yeah.
Yeah, let's knock this out, and then we'll reveal it on an episode here.
Yeah. The magic of Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, let's do it. I got a DVD player, so let's see if we can make a trip over to the library.
Somebody right now is using a Hocus Pocus DVD as a coaster.
Let's do Blu-ray.
That's how many. Ooh, Blu-ray.
Do they say Hocus Pocus on Blu-ray?
I think so.
Yeah, mine plays Blu-ray, $8.50, and it'll play Blu-ray.
Man.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Okay, so tell me, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Probably Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah.
That's your go-to Halloween movie.
Yeah. Or Ernest Scared Stupid. Another classic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm fascinated with the way they continue to make horror and thriller movies.
Yeah.
It's getting harder, I feel like.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tell me more.
I think the hardest thing is that everybody has a cell phone, and every modern movie has to account for that.
Yeah.
So you've got to, I haven't watched a whole lot of movies recently, thriller, horror. Katie doesn't like them.
Yeah.
And I don't love them. But I have noticed on things like some of the more recent ones, like A Quiet Place, things like that, they have to account for this. A Quiet Place, of course, like that one speaks for itself, but typically it's like, is the phone broken? Maybe there's no service now. The bad guy takes it. You run and you drop it and it cracks and now it doesn't work. Like every movie, it seems like, has to explain why is this problem so hard to solve.
Wow.
You know? It seems like a lot of these,
or
nobody's wearing an Apple Watch or whatever in these movies, but there's a lot of ways to solve this bad guy.
It's a good point. My dad was in a car wreck.
Okay.
He's fine. But my sister, me, we all got a message from Apple saying, hey, a loved one of yours was in a car wreck.
What?
Yeah.
How did it do that?
Because it can tell the jostling of a car accident.
There's not false alarms there?
I'm sure there's a false alarm. You would rather have a false alarm than like... Yeah, well, it's a good point. Let's hope he's not wearing his $400 watch while he's doing jujitsu. But yeah, so yes, in the time of even if you were in a car wreck, your Apple Watch could tell your loved ones hey, check on this person. They might have been in a car wreck.
Yeah, that's
And it gave us the location. It gave us, anyways.
Sure. Location services, a lot of people share that with their loved ones.
Yeah, so I can see how that would be.
You got to account for this.
It's hard to be a stalker / serial killer / paranormal.
Yeah, it's getting harder. These days.
It's hard.
And it's only getting harder. But, people tend to be creative. I feel like a lot of these movies are going to be set in the 90s going forward.
Sure. Well, but what is one of your favorite Halloween movies?
Well, I don't know if it's in the same alley as some of the horror movies, thriller movies referencing, although, the ones you enjoy seem to be pretty light.
I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
I want to keep it light.
Girls are tougher than me, so I'm just a little boy.
Yeah, you are.
Looking at girls who just beat me up, and I'm just like, I can't watch.
And it's hard to be a little boy in a horror movie. I'm talking It. I'm talking Sixth Sense.
It is challenging.
Yeah, it's not easy to be a little boy. Sixth Sense is one that my mom and I watched quite a few times that we really enjoyed.
Man.
And that's got to be my favorite.
That is a good one.
I haven't got to watch it in a while. The truth is, Katie's never seen it. And
what?
And I know because I've prodded a little bit.
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know.
She doesn't know. So if we're gonna watch
her face.
Yeah. If we're gonna watch Hocus Pocus, let's make it a double feature.
Let's do it. I will video her face.
The big reveal in 2024 of somebody who doesn't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Man, when he got out of bed and it was so cold and he could see his breath, I was in the theater just squirming. I was squirming so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you figure it out a little bit before the?
No. Oh, yeah,
The big reveal was the big reveal for you.
Yeah, I was oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just mind blown. Man.
Nate Bargatze does a joke that I think is hilarious, where he says nobody gets it because that's marriage, man. I've had spells like that. I get it, man. I feel you, brother. I haven't talked to your spouse in months.
Yeah, you show up.
The cold shoulder.
To the dinner.
Yeah. Sixth Sense is my go-to.
You know, you get that. You're not wrong.
I get it. It's so relatable. Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
It's tough sledding, man.
Man.
I always prefer those types of movies, which are more suspense, than, you know, the Paranormal Activity kind of thing, the, you know, The Grudge, The Ring, these kind of things that dip into, like, the paranormal.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I'm open to a lot of things.
So it sounds like you kind of believe in the spooks, the ghosts, the things.
Well, it's the opposite.
Oh, you don't believe
It's the opposite, yeah. I'd say of all I'm open-minded to a lot of things.
All right.
That is one where I just kind of draw the line. I don't really believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't believe, I don't know, do I believe in paranormal? I certainly don't think that most of the stuff people drum up is real. I think it can be explained. You know, mediums, I don't really think people talk to the dead. So, you know, I don't think a Ouija board has ever moved on its own. I think you've always got that mischievous friend that presses a little too hard, and that's all it takes to move that little piece. You just press.
I mean, the Earth's rotating on an axis.
Things are moving everywhere. You know, everything can be explained.
All right.
So, that's the truth. That's
You've never had a moment that you were like, ooh, spooky. I feel something's happening here.
Something's happening. You know, I don't know. I do. Yeah. I've had moments that are definitely powerful.
Okay.
You know, I'm a believer, right? You know, so I believe in a world where there's something beyond our realm, right? Yeah. For some reason, I just can't bring myself to believe in so much of that paranormal, supernatural world.
Okay.
And I'm open to you proving me wrong, though. So tell me, do you believe?
All right. Well, you know, this was one of the prompts you sent me, and I was trying to drum up, like, when did this happen? You know, gosh. Here's a couple. All right. Okay. Now they're light duty, but I think there's something to them. Okay.
All right.
First of all, very Halloween. Okay, very Halloween. Woo. I may have killed a superstar just by kind of wishing them dead. Just the thought. Halloween? Just thinking. Well, they didn't die on Halloween.
Oh.
So, what's one of the most famous Halloween songs ever?
Monster Mash.
That is a very famous. More current would be Thriller.
Okay, all right. Thriller, yeah.
So I'm in the kitchen.
Michael Jackson.
There's, with my thought space, possibly. Let's say this. That man had lived day in and day out for quite some time. I don't remember how old he was when he passed away, but let's just say he hadn't died yet.
Okay.
I'm in the kitchen of a friend's, and we're, back then I was a barista, and we were doing latte art competition. We were just goofing around. We're making coffee, making latte art.
Oh, what a warm
We were listening to Thriller on his record album, and I just thought to myself, what?
What year was this?
2000, well, I don't remember when Michael Jackson died.
08 when he died, right? 09?
No, let's see.
Right? I remember his funeral. I wasn't there, but...
I feel like it was, time gave up on me first, you know, let's see. Year? Michael.
I mean, the record player reference threw me off there, but you know, you're hipster.
Like hipsters, you know? 2009.
Okay.
Right. June 25th of 2009.
I remember watching that
So June 24th of 2009, I'm in a kitchen listening to Thriller, doing latte art with a buddy, two buddies, Chris and Darren, and I was like, man, this guy needs to just give it up. You know, I was like, this guy, tortured soul. That's before the whole documentary about abuse and all that came out. But I was just like, man, this guy needs to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's June 24th. June 25th, I'm flying to Texas to see my family because it's summer. I can't remember why exactly, other than just summer. And I look up at the news, and it is Michael Jackson, cardiac arrest, ambulance, rush, critical condition. I was like, I killed Thriller. I killed the King of Pop.
Wow.
Michael Jackson. So
you were just speaking about his music career, right?
I was speaking about him as a human. I was literally.
Were.
You don't have those people that you're like, man. Of course, you have those people on the light side. You're like, man, I hope this person never dies.
Yeah.
There's a handful of people that I check in periodically. Right. Angela Lansbury, usually, I think she passed away. Because I loved Murder, She Wrote. Let's be honest, Murder, She Wrote is possibly one of the best TV shows ever. Yeah. Bob Dylan, I'm always checking.
Wow.
His never-ending tour.
Man.
I'm just like, man, is he going to die?
No, he's touring.
He is touring.
He's touring in
That's
Europe.
It. And he's just a year older than Joe Biden, so I think he's like 1 year, 2 years older.
Really?
They could have been like buddies in high school.
Yeah.
There's a handful of people that I'm like, I check periodically, like, please don't be dead. You're not. Love that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah.
There's some people I check and I'm just like,
I know.
I thought you'd be dead by now.
Yeah.
I thought that would have happened.
But you kind of wish they were dead?
Sometimes.
Hey,
sometimes.
You don't have to vote for him, but you don't have to wish he was dead, too.
I don't wish ill on anybody currently, you know what I'm saying? And I've learned my lesson.
Sure.
Because it happened one time before. This wasn't the
Michael
only
Jackson?
time that I wished somebody dead and they died. All right.
Just
young.
the Michael Jackson, or there's another?
There was another.
Really?
But I was young. I was like, I've had this power a while. I'm thinking happy thoughts about everybody right now.
This is voodoo. This is not the paranormal right here. This is voodoo. Were there dolls involved, or just takes your thoughts?
I was probably 7 years old,
Oh, Lord.
right? And our puppy
Psychopath.
dog had kidney stones. Puppy dog. And had to go to the emergency room vet because sick, right? And we went to, my brother and I went to school, and my mom said, listen, I will let you know. Well, no, he's going into surgery today. I'll let you know when you get home from school if your puppy dog survived. All right?
Yeah.
Man, just couldn't concentrate at school, just so feeling it, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, got home from school. She's like, Pebbles, your Dalmatian, has lived. I hadn't killed him yet. Pebbles, your Dalmatian, has lived. And we were like, oh my gosh, my brother and I, oh my gosh, Pebbles. We will get Pebbles home. We love Pebbles. She's like, but there was a little complication. So kidney stones, you know, eliminating waste. I don't know why, but he was going to have a tube coming out of his stomach that he would pee out of, this tube, right? And I remember just thinking, like, man, he shouldn't come home.
Oh, man.
I know. And then
You're like, I wanted Pebbles if he was just a normal, functioning, regular dog?
I don't know. I mean, think about it. You're
Oh,
7 years
God.
old, and you're like a dog that just can't even control itself. It just pees on the floor everywhere. And the dignity, it was like the dignity of the dog was gone. I'm not proud of it. I'm not. It's humorous at this point. So I remember going to bed at night. That night I was like, man, Pebbles needs to just go ahead and give it up.
Oh.
The next morning, the vet called and was like, your dog has died. He made it through the surgery, but they don't always survive the night. And man, I felt guilty. I was like, not only did I kill my dog, I killed my brother Chris's dog. And you know, it's haunted me.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that, man? You know what I'm saying? The power of thought?
Let's see. Tim, you have a beautiful mind. Capable of so much.
Oof.
But I want to right here and right now relieve you of the stress that you've been feeling about Pebbles and Michael Jackson.
Man,
I don't believe you
stress
killed
only
either
about
one of
Pebbles.
them.
But
There's a coincidence that happened there that you only remembered after it happened, and it's possible that had other records been playing, you may have killed 100 people.
Man.
That you don't even know about because.
So you're saying I did kill them, but it was the right person at the right time.
No. You didn't kill them, but it only stuck in your brain because you had a conversation around it. You know.
Yeah.
The Pebbles thing, and Pebbles didn't have a chance.
Man, it's a good point.
Pebbles didn't have a chance.
It's a good point.
You may not even killed Pebbles. They may have told the vet to put Pebbles down. They couldn't tell you that.
Man.
They couldn't tell you that in that moment.
Man, what if?
And
maybe my mom wished him dead.
I think so.
And
I
that's
think
why
so.
he's dead.
Yeah, your mom might have ordered him dead. That might have been an execution right there. So
we have no evidence to support that. We have more evidence to support my power.
Can we get legal on this? We're not trying to throw out accusations.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I think now, Tim, you're capable of so much, and your mind can do anything, but it can't kill anybody.
All right, here's one more.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so I've changed the names to protect the innocent, but I was a barista with my buddy, and there was a regular that came in, dude, right?
Yeah, what's his name?
Gosh, I don't remember the regular. Remember his drink. It was a quad shot over ice. You don't remember names, you remember drinks when you're a barista. Yeah.
Impressive.
So you'd be talking to a barista.
Are you changing the drink order to preserve the integrity?
I think there's enough quad shots over ice.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know. But yeah, if you met up with a bunch of baristas, they'd be like, hey, yeah, you're the oat milk latte, extra hot, right? Or they'd be like, hey, you wouldn't believe what mocha extra sauce did today. They know you by the drink.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, so this guy used to come in quad shot over ice all the time, every day, same time, always so happy, always, hey, yo, ho, ha, ha, ha.
I like this guy.
Spiky hair, throwing it back like this, way, hop, up, up, up. Guys, I'm going with my boyfriend to Chicago this week. I'm going to Chicago. It's going to be great. Great. We don't see him for like a month. He comes back, he's like, you wouldn't believe what Chicago was like. My boyfriend, he brought counterfeit $100 bills. Now, I told the FBI, I have no idea how he got those. Sure enough, it was in the news. Like, this guy was running, and somebody was like, oh, yeah, it's green as cabbage. Yeah, that was not a $100 bill. Evidently, it was bad fakes. Anyways, he was like, I was all tied up in Chicago. I was tied up in Chicago. Man. So anyways, but he's still getting those quad shots over ice.
I love this guy. I feel like you'd love this guy.
Buddy of mine had moved into a new apartment or whatever, needed some furniture, and him and his boyfriend would buy, they had a home here in Old Louisville, and they would buy places and flip them, right?
Okay.
He's like, oh my gosh, well you should come by. We've got so much furniture down in the basement. We buy houses, we flip them. If they got furniture that's worth keeping, we take it. If it's not, we throw it to the curb. We flip.
Yeah.
You should come. We got couches, we got sofas, we got things in the basement. It's so great. Anyways, we got just like, I don't know, going to some dude's basement.
In Old Louisville, in the basement?
Old Louisville, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, nah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So who knows? Maybe maybe that's not a good idea. Because, like, the next day, the dude is in the news. They found a dead body buried in a bathtub in his basement, bro.
This is the he said case.
It's the he said.
Oh,
yes.
you were involved in that?
Well, I wasn't involved in the case.
Crazy.
It was so crazy.
What?
So you remember the story.
Oh my gosh!
That's the basement we would have gotten the furniture from.
Was creepy. I thought they concreted over the body or something. Maybe they were trying. They ordered a concrete truck.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was right.
Man.
Wow, you get mixed up with some bad.
Well, yeah, for the listeners out there who don't know, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But essentially, it was a lover's quarrel. The two dudes were having a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going well. No. So my dude, spiky haired dude, quad shot over ice, locked himself in the bathroom.
That's exactly what I heard.
Yes. And crazy dudes outside, maybe they're both crazy. I have my favorites, right? So crazy dude's outside, like, I'm gonna kill you. Unlock this door, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, I'm calling the cops right now.
Good call.
The dude's like,
well, he's already loose cannon with the FBI and the counterfeit money and quad shot over ice.
You didn't know about the counterfeits.
Did the right thing.
Counterfeits happened, like, probably a couple months before.
Yeah,
so
no, things are spiraling.
So the dude's like, if you call the cops, I'm gonna tell them what's in the basement. The other guy's like, you wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare. So he calls 911. He's like, my boyfriend's trying to kill me. So cops show up, and they're like, sir, you got, I don't know, a knife, gun, I don't know what he had. You got gonna come with us? He's like, no, you don't want me to come with you. You want to see what's in the basement. And they're like, what's in the basement? And he's probably looking at his boyfriend. I just imagine him looking like, we going down together.
Oh.
And the boyfriend's like, we changed. So they get to the basement. He's like, dig here. They start digging. They find a body wrapped in a trash bag in a bathtub that's buried in their basement.
God.
Turns out, missing persons. I think he was from Frankfurt or Lexington. And yes, I was almost in that basement like 2-3 days.
You were.
Before that happened, just walking over that dude, looking for a couch.
Wow.
I love that you know that he said case.
And the crazy thing is, I did not see this in the news. I did not follow this case, but
How do you know about it?
I took a ghost tour of Louisville that walks right to the steps of that house.
Oh my
and
gosh.
tells the story just like you did. And they told it so well.
Man.
I can remember the details that you just shared. I am spooked. I've never been in a basement in Old Louisville since.
Man.
And I will never order a quad shot over ice. I can promise you that.
Man, maybe that was it. Maybe he got too many shots.
Too hyped up?
Yeah, he was too hyped up.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Goodness. Wow. Well, that is certainly spooky.
Yeah.
It's not paranormal.
Well, it's certainly not normal.
It's not normal.
Maybe it's
not
quad normal.
But it is within the range of human activity
well,
to kill somebody, put them in a bathtub, bury them in the basement.
But isn't that part of it? Just the mystery of life. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like,
Is you never know what
you
you're
can't prove me
capable
wrong.
of.
You can't prove me wrong that I killed Michael Jackson with a thought.
You're right. I absolutely can.
You know?
Yeah.
Sure. It could have been his drug addiction.
Let's just let our.
Could be.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just let our fast. Yeah. I'm in. I'm in. And subsequently, I will never cross you.
Well, remember that that what if power? What if I have the power that whatever I say what if comes true? What if I lose it? And then you're like, oh
no.
So maybe it's that. No, I think very kindly people.
Sure.
Anyways. But now take me to I want to know about Halloween costumes. Do you have a favorite costume? Or maybe you got a paranormal moment. You're like, I just want everybody to know that I don't believe in ghosts, but that cold breathing, feet dragging, chain carrying creature in my bedroom when I was a kid, I don't appreciate you. Is there, you want to come out? You want to say something?
I was terrified of that idea. I watched Unsolved Mysteries as a kid and stopped spending the night at friends' houses.
Whoa, okay, so you once were a true
convinced
believer.
That I'd just look at things and I would just kind of wait for them to move. But they never did.
Okay, all right.
And eventually, things that I didn't understand, I began to understand because I was getting older,
Yeah.
So even things that seemed mysterious really weren't. And so I don't know wherein I developed such a opposition to that point of view, but I'm scared of a lot of things though,
I don't believe you.
Of course I am. Oh, I'm scared of, but the scary ones are the ones that, are real.
Well, we're going to talk costumes, but now I got to know. know.
What is it?
Because you just seem fearless, bro. You seem fearless.
Man, I'll tell you
Let's
what.
talk phobias, fears.
I'll tell you, I thought about the phobia question.
Safe space, you know what I'm saying?
This week, I've been training, not doing a great job training, but planning this trip to Oregon to do the rock climbing. And my goodness, I got up on the wall and I got so in my head. Just out there on that wall, hundreds of feet in the air, by myself, dangling.
Yeah.
Just dangling.
For our rock
From a
climber
rock.
listeners, what's the name of the wall?
The name of the wall is Smith Rock State Park in Bend, Oregon. Mm-hmm. And the route that I was on was called Wherever I May Roam.
Okay.
And it was a 5-pitch. It's about 400 feet in the air. And most of it, you're just exposed. You're just on the wall. There's just nowhere to go. I didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought there would be places to rest, get away from it all for a little bit. You get to the top of a little area. There should be a nice little spot
cabana,
to hang out.
Like you get halfway up and the bartender's like,
I wouldn't mind that.
You want a Mai Tai? Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
And you're like, thanks, Larry.
It was. I think I was closer to thinking about it that way than I was to how it actually was. I mean, the only respite I got was like a 6-inch ledge that I just hugged a wall on. Like, I wanted to cry.
And what's the time frame? You're up there. You say
4 hours. I'm on this wall
for
4 hours with my raw fingers, just trying to grab on and like figure all this out. And the truth is, I told Katie when I came back, I said there were times I wanted to cry. I just couldn't find a good spot for it.
Oh my God.
There was nowhere to cry. It wasn't even a crying ledge.
That's why you just want Larry like, well, another one. You're like, no, I can't handle it. You're like, yeah, bro.
There's nowhere to go but
nowhere
up.
to cry.
So I got through it.
That should be the name of the route. I'm sorry, but wherever you may roam, it should be nowhere to cry.
Nowhere to cry.
There's
nowhere to cry. We just wanted a silent cry.
And I hope there is a route somewhere called Nowhere to Cry.
Well, if there's not, then you just got to be the first to send it, and then you get to name it. So let's make that happen.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm on that wall. I'm thinking, my goodness, I didn't know I had a fear of heights. I thought I had a healthy, regular fear of heights, but I stand on the edge of things every day, it feels like.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
That's probably not true, but it feels like that. I feel like, I'm
You're
a lot
in
of
elevators, you're on stairs.
I'm not
looking
in
out
elevators.
windows. Oh, that's right. You're on foot still. I didn't realize you were still doing that.
I'm still stepping it. But I thought, my goodness, I got in my head, my feet are shaking.
Yeah.
I'm having I've only had really one panic attack, I think, in my entire life, but I'm feeling it coming on.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my gosh, and phobias popped in my mind. So that's very real. I didn't ever believe that if I was to fall, something paranormal was just going to cut my rope and I was going to fall Final Destination style 400 feet. I thought if I fall,
wasn't thinking
it's because I don't deserve to be on this rock. I don't know what I'm doing here. I only was able to train at the YMCA where, sweet Chris and Judd and Jordan, they knew about my trip and they were worried about me.
Give a shout out to
Let's
Chris,
give them a shout out because they do listen. They do listen. No joke. They listen. So
in the future, when they're listening to this, they will have listened.
No, they know. They know about the podcast. They do listen. And so let me give them a shout out because they did get me up that wall, but boy, were they worried about me because they knew I wasn't ready. So I have a healthy fear of heights, more than I knew, more than my climbing partner.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of all rational things that are actual threats, like the idea that maybe I could fall overboard with some thing heavy around my feet and I would just plunge to the bottom of the ocean and it would be so dark.
Overboard of, I'm guessing, a yacht.
Yeah.
Or maybe a cruise ship.
Those are the kind of things, burning alive. Like those.
You think about that?
Yeah.
You're worried about it?
All the time.
Are you serious?
I'm not.
No.
I don't think about it all the time. But that's the kind of stuff that worries me.
Yeah, like buried alive.
Paranormal is not going to worry me.
Buried alive worries me. I don't think it'll ever happen to me, but like.
But that would be a terrible way to go. That would be the worst case scenario.
I don't want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen.
So, phobias are like the regular ones,
Yeah. Sharks. You're swimming.
Yeah.
You're like, man, there could be a shark here.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Man, I had kind of a shark scary moment.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I scuba dive. I was diving.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I was doing a night dive.
Oh, you were asking for it.
I'm an advanced open water diver or something like that. Advanced. So you get to do these night dives, which highly recommend it. You would love it. The things
the way you're
that come out
selling
at
the story,
night.
you're really not selling that.
Well,
where's the shark coming into the story?
Well, so when you're doing a night dive, visibility is let's say not great.
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes you'll put glow sticks, just tie them on, because you're going with other people.
Yeah,
so there's like 6 of you going.
Yeah.
This night I think there was 4. And you have flashlights, and you just kind of stay together, and you swim, and you got a dive master. I do with the dive master. They're like, they know where to go. They're pointing you to this. I saw a lobster, no kidding, a lobster as big as a chihuahua, maybe bigger than a chihuahua, more like a dachshund. This lobster, just cruising on the reef. What's up? I saw a Spanish dancer, which are these like weird jellyfish, sea cucumber looking things that do some things. Anyways, I saw a little reef shark, a little tiny baby reef shark. You know what I'm saying? Little tiny baby reef shark. The shark's so big. Yeah, I'm feeling safe. I got all these people around me. Yeah. Anyways, so I go swimming. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just gonna see where this reef shark's going. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Oh.
I'm just gonna swim off.
To the reef shark mama.
So reef sharks, by and large, are not that large. They're just little things, and they're just like little pups, and they eat the little crustaceans, you know. And anyways, I just want to be like, man, what? So I swim away, and I'm like, where did that thing go? Swim away, looking, man, what? And then I start it now. Granted, you got to imagine you're swimming and you're looking at coral and stuff, but when you put your flashlight up straight ahead, there's nothing to stop it. So even though your light's shining here, it's still pitch black.
Yeah.
It's just pitch black. So swimming, and then I like, man, where did that shark go? I put my flashlight up like this, and it's like pitch black everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, you know what? And I don't really want this shark. And what if there's a bigger shark? I should get back with my people. I look back. Now, a flashlight this way is looking right at you. But a flashlight this way, it looks like it's turned completely off. And when I look back, and I'm now behind everybody, all their flashlights are facing one way, and I'm behind them.
I don't like this.
And we weren't doing glow sticks on...
I'm learning about a new phobia of mine.
You know. So, so I was like panicked, bro. I was like...
Would you go to the surface? What'd you do?
Well, so number one, you know, you just don't panic. Even when you feel the panic, you're like, stop.
That's what happened to me on the wall.
You know, yeah, right? So you're like, the number one thing that will kill me is panic.
Yeah.
So I just was like, all right, I think it's this direction. As much as you can tell in the dark.
Open water.
You're just swimming.
Ocean. Yeah.
I think this is the way. Anyways, I lucked out in that somebody looked back at a friend, like way up there. Somebody looked back at a friend or looked at something, and I saw the smallest little glimmer of a thing.
Yeah.
Woo, I was swimming to them. You know what I'm saying? Made it. Worked out fine. And it was beautiful, too. Came up in the end. You pump up your vest.
Yeah.
You float back and kind of slowly swim back to the beach.
Cool. Okay.
And man, you're just looking up at the stars, at the Milky Way. You're in Hawaii, and you're just slowly working your way back to the beach. You dodge death, you know.
I mean, if worse came to worse, and you did come face to face with, you know, a great white shark, you could just wish it dead.
Bro, if I could think that quick. I certainly would try. What if the shark dies?
Oh, it only works the next day after
it takes
a
time.
Serious surgery. It only works.
Serious surgery or serious drug addiction. It takes about 12 hours. So, yeah. That's a good point, man.
Well, what are you scared of then? You have a fear of sharks at night. In the open water, so you're a normal person, that means.
Yeah.
What else?
Being buried alive. I know that would never happen, but man, just the thought of it happening is enough.
The thought is enough.
Be like,
my hands clammy.
Don't want that to happen.
No.
Ever.
No. Let's make a pact.
You know, I don't like spiders. You know, I can't say that I'm scared of them.
Yeah, but do you think that they're all gonna kill you? Or you know, in your heart of heart, you know that none of them are going to kill me, but maybe a few and they don't live here.
I don't think even the ones that would kill me are going to kill me.
Yeah.
I grew up with brown recluses.
Yeah.
So my dad is a nut. He's a science dude. Love you, Dad. And so growing up, he actually had old Folgers jars of coffee that he'd emptied.
Yeah.
And he had brown recluses in them. And he would run experiments on the brown recluses. He would try and figure out what poison works best.
You're setting up a horror movie right now.
Going to the garage, looking for like an extension cord, and you'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, brown. There's some brown recluses."
Yeah. Let's see if we can give them some nuclear reaction that's going to make them the size of a 10-story building.
He was definitely running experiments. I think that he was trying to save money on poison, and so he was just trying to see. He would unscrew it, drop different poisons in,
that's funny.
Screw it up, make sure that, you know, so yeah. So I'm not terribly scared of spiders, but I don't like them. They are creepy crawlies, for sure. Yeah, what about you, man?
That's it. I don't think
Being burned alive.
The ones you mentioned.
Okay, yeah.
In the burned alive, the buried alive. I don't think snakes. I think I understand that maybe snakes a little more than spiders. I understand that none of them are really going to kill you unless you dilly daddle when you get bit.
Yeah.
Most things are fixable, but when you're buried alive, you are in a tough spot. Hard to fix that one.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. Yeah. Well, write into us if you've been buried alive.
Man.
And let us know how to get out of that. Let's put this one to bed.
Somebody knows. Okay, what about this? This is when is the most scared you've been recently? Because you know what? We live a bit of a domesticated lives,
Yeah, we do.
Granted, you're up on a rock. Maybe your rock is your story.
Well, there's no doubt that is the most scary. I think it was the most terrifying thing I've ever done, to tell you the truth.
Man.
Yeah. But let's go back.
Lucky you.
Yeah, let me think of another one.
Yeah.
Before that, and you tell me.
Oh, man. This was a good question in my mind.
You think that's going to come back to you?
I know that, well, no. It was just before I left, my 10-year-old son was like, Daddy, I can't wait to listen to your podcast. So I just have to frame this right.
Okay.
So a friend at work was like, during lunch, he likes to go take a walk at this park that's on River Road. I'm not going to say the name of the park, but he likes to go walk at this park on River Road. I like to go walking at the reservoir, which is right there in with the Crescent Hill neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah.
Reservoir is wonderful. So I work in an office. It's important to get out. So I try and walk the reservoir like twice a day. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Get some fresh air, clear the head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you should try this park. You should try it. You should try this park.
Okay.
It's like a full mile. So the reservoir is 3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh man, get a full, amount. He's like, yeah, and it's kind of covered with the trees and everything. Great. Okay, great. So one day, I got some time. It's lunch. Hey, you know what? Go to this park.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there's trails, blah, blah, blah. So pull off in the little parking lot. Man, busy.
Okay.
Busy parking lot for like noon on noon 30 on a Friday.
Okay. What's going on?
Man, but people like to hike, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's get hiking.
Yeah. They don't work in office jobs. They're out there hiking.
I'm not great with maps either, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So there's like a map on the thing,
Yeah.
laminate. I'm like, all right, take a picture of the map. I'm like, I am going to get lost. I know I am. And I don't have time to get lost. I got to get back. But the dude said, like, it's a perfect walk. You know what I'm saying?
4 days later, without water, you crawl out of there. Where's this going?
I wish that was the story.
What happened?
So I just charge in, you know what I'm saying? Like, the best thing to do when you don't know, like, if you're going to get lost, is just get started. Man, foliage, just like foliage everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Thick. The dude said it was covered, shady.
Where is this place?
Thick foliage, but the path is clear. But like every 100 feet, there's like these zingers that go off of this path. There's even a tree that's fallen, and they made a path around it. Well tread this path. But these other paths are, and I'm like, oh man, I'm checking my phone, checking the pictures. Come around, I'm making loops on accident, finding the things. Then I see like some old dude just like chilling out in the woods, and he's like just like he's looking for somebody. Okay. I'm like, well, maybe he's looking for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep cruising.
You kept moving?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm not trying to find anybody.
Okay.
You're looking for them. You're not looking for me. And he's kind of looking at, like, are you the guy? And I'm like, I don't know, man. So I keep cruising.
Yeah.
End up, took the wrong spur. I end up back in the parking lot.
Out of that? Okay.
Like,
well, this isn't too bad. You didn't get the full mile, but
I didn't get even close to a mile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, great. So, walk back through the little parking lot. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going back to the map. I'm looking at the map. Like, yeah. I'm like, well, that was just a bunch of spin-offs. I'm going to go this way. So I go this way. I see a bridge that goes into the foliage. I'm like, well, bridge is intentional. That's a path right there.
Yeah.
Cross over that bridge. I saw a bridge on the map. Boom, boom, boom. See another bridge. I'm like, bro, bridge it is. I'm going on that other. So I go over the other bridge. I walk down. Man, I walk down the path that's on the other side of the bridge, dead end. And they're like, just like overgrowth, just bush. You know, the weeds that look like nettles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not charging through that.
I cannot figure out what park you're describing.
A little fact about me is like, I just feel like I gotta pee all the time. That's a phobia, is that I'll have to pee and I won't be able to. You know, like there won't be a bathroom anywhere.
Okay.
That's a bit of a phobia. Not that I won't physically be able to, but it's just like, I'm like, man, I've been caught in too many crowds, too many situations where you're like, if only I had peed before I left. You know what I'm saying? If only. It's a kind of pain that is totally preventable. You know what I'm saying? Some 100%. Pains you can't prevent.
Yeah.
The pain of needing to pee.
We don't victim blame when somebody's buried alive. But we do tend to victim blame when someone didn't pee before they left the house.
Exactly.
So you're absolutely right. Stop the stigma.
So I'm out.
You got to pee now. This old man's still wandering around. I haven't forgotten about him.
But he's on the other path, man. So the other path was the one.
You don't even know where the other path is.
I'm on this path. So
you just found the
I end up at this dead end. I'm like, that's fine. So I take a leak, you know. I'm like, I don't know how long this is going to take. Let me just go ahead and get everything ready. I turn around and some dude is waiting for me, bro. When I say it's obvious that some dude is waiting for me, some dude is waiting for me.
Why?
And I'm like, oh, hey, I'm sorry.
Is this a meetup spot you found?
It's a meetup spot, but I didn't realize that yet. This dude is waiting for me, and he's talking to me, and he's letting me know that he's been waiting for me. He's so excited that I'm here. And I was like, well, I just got to get going. You know, I'm just out for a hike today. And I'm passing other people.
Wow.
But I didn't understand it. And I was just like, all right, well, it's not uncommon for a crazy dude or whatever, somebody who doesn't understand social norms.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon to meet those people maybe in the woods. It's not uncommon. You know, it's a free space. Man, I'm walking, I'm passing people. That dude starts following me, bro. I guess he thought I was playing hard to catch. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. No. But I am just like walking.
Got it.
I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah. Thankfully, there's like another guy walking that way, and I'm just like, ooh, I'll keep looking back every once in a while. Dude, it's like Pepe Le Pew just following me. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me who that is later.
Pepe Le Pew, the skunk on like Looney Tunes. He's always following the cat. Anyways, it's just slowly meandering.
Okay.
Following the scent.
Yeah.
Anyways, I am just sweating, bro. I'm like, something's happening here. This is crazy. I think he's a crazy dude. But I still got to get my steps in. So I get back to the concrete, and I'm like, all right, I'll just do the concrete path. I'm going to just do the concrete.
A well-lit concrete path, maybe?
Oh, it's noon 30, right? So I do the well, and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, what in the world? Now, I come back to the parking lot that I parked my car in. I've walked a mile. And there's old dude from earlier, and he's like poking his head out, and then he's Homer Simpsoning into the bushes, right? Gosh. And there's other people that are like just walking by it's a total meetup spot. So I was no longer angry at dude for being crazy. I was angry at myself for being dumb.
Yeah, no. Be angry at your coworker who set you up so anyway, hard.
I started laughing uncontrollably. I'm like, this is the biggest mistake I've ever seen. Because I go cruising literally to the farthest end of this meetup trail.
Dropped your pants.
I didn't drop them, but I did unzip and take care of some business.
Yeah.
And I started laughing so hard. Anyway, so I go back to work, and he's coming back from a story, and I was like, homie, that park is a meetup spot. And he was like, yeah, duh. And I was like, I don't think you understand.
What have you done to me?
That park is a meetup spot. And he was like, oh. I said, I parked. He said, you didn't go to that little parking lot. I said, I did go to the little parking lot.
Oh, he knows then.
He knows that, like, he's like,
You went to the wrong part?
Well, yeah, I mean, that little spot
That little spot.
is that.
Yeah.
The rest of the park,
Sure.
I take my kids there all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, you couldn't warn me?
Right.
Before you sent me off in it. Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
And I told him the whole story. He started laughing so hard. I was laughing so hard.
What?
I was like, bro, my bones just got jumped.
Yeah,
Just
man.
about got
Yeah.
jumped, bro.
Yeah.
Now, when I tell you, like, I'm a big dude, but being alone in the woods with somebody who definitely has plans for our meetup,
Yeah.
that's probably the most scared
Yeah.
I've been in quite some time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And later it turned out to be a huge, man, so funny.
Unfamiliar, you don't know what's going on, your pants are
Laughing.
unzipped, somebody's following you.
Well, they were zipped back up at that time. It took care of business.
Sure. Okay, yeah, you set the record straight.
Zipped it up.
Set the record straight.
Got to moving. Oh my God.
Wow.
Terrified.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, shout out to Eben at home. Just learned a whole lot. Might have a few extra questions after we get done with this episode, but that's a good one. I don't think I can top that. The more I think about it.
I don't know. You up 4 hours on a rock face?
You know.
That's pretty intense, bro.
You know, it was. That's a very different kind of intense. I don't like the idea. I don't know that I've ever been chased or followed. I hate the idea of feeling trapped.
Oh, interesting.
You know.
Yeah.
And so that was you're feeling a little trapped right there.
Yeah, I didn't know the trails. I was like, I
man.
don't know how to get in. I don't know how to get out. I am. You know, you don't have time to pull up the phone. I was just like, I wish him did. I wish him did. No, I wasn't really doing that, but it was a lot.
Glad you made it, man. Well, we got to end on a lighter note. Go to Halloween costume. Favorite Halloween costume.
Oh, man.
What's yours?
Yeah. Gosh, favorite as a kid was probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
You know, it was the year that my parents were like, all right, you know what? We'll pull the money together and we'll buy it for you. And I was like,
it's hard to make that costume.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is, and it doesn't look as good, you know. Though my dad did go as Shredder because he was inspired, and he had a bucket that he had cut out, put on his head, and he had like a face mask on. And he really nailed Shredder. You know what I'm saying?
In a jar of 100 spiders.
That's right.
Around the closest.
Should have given up
glowing
Shredder
in the dark.
and gone straight for Spider-Man, but like real Spider-Man.
Right.
Hey, children, play with my brown recluses. Yeah, that would have been much better. But yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was a huge Raphael fan.
Yeah.
Moody, you know, passionate. My brother as Leonardo. Yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Oh,
what about you?
That's a good one. You know, my favorite one is probably the Rubik's Cube. You know,
You went as a Rubik's Cube?
I went as a Rubik's Cube. I went when I was maybe, it was like 13. It was like, you know, maybe you're too cool to do the Halloween thing.
Yeah.
But if you and your friends kind of get together and then you get excited about it together, then it was kind of fun, and you think you're doing it ironically, but you're still just a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And I know we like, on a whim, we're like, oh, Halloween's tonight. What if we made our own costume? Wouldn't that be so funny?
You did it in a night.
Yeah, we did in like an afternoon. We like walked down to the dumpster. We found a bunch of boxes. Is all, you know, that was our best idea, and a bunch of construction paper, different colors. I was just a big box.
Yeah.
It was a huge box.
Man.
And you could solve me.
How?
Rearranging the construction paper.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But that's the one that comes to mind that I loved. I've had a few good ones over the year. It wasn't the only time I was in a box for a Halloween costume, but the Rubik's Cube comes to mind.
Man, that's solid. That's a solid choice.
Solid.
Man.
Well, I don't know. What else? You got anything?
Man, Spooktacular was very spooky.
Boy, was it? I got a little
little
there.
chills.
I mean, you had a few. You had a few. Alone underwater at night.
Man.
With a predator.
Damn sharks.
Awake in the day with a predator. Yeah, it's all. It's a little.
I'm picking up a pattern here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at the bottom of the food chain is what I'm seeing.
Man, I'm very desirable.
Yes, you are. Well, you know, I think that's all we got for this week at Tim and Joe's awesome podcast. We're coming to you each week. I think we can actually do next week, right?
Yeah, have a great Halloween. Spooktacular.
Yeah, we'll see you before Halloween, right?
I hope so.
Were we too early on this episode?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. All right, well, see you next week.